Hello everyone. In this playlist, we're gonna learn C programming language step by step, right? So what we will do, we will use ChatGPT and many other sources, sometimes whiteboard, uh, marker pen, and we will do a step by step practice, right? So we will repeat things to get a good command in our skill, right? So without wasting any time, let's start, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I hope you see my screen, right? So first of all, we will start from the basic concepts of C programming. First of all, programming languages, right? A programming language is a formal language used to give instruction to a computer, right? These instructions are written in a code or syntax that the computer can understand and execute. Programming languages are divided into two main types. Okay, so programming languages are divided into two main types: low-level languages and high-level languages. Uh, Low-level languages, machine-level or assembly-level languages, which are closer to the computer's hardware. So assembly-level languages, uh, computer hardware can understand actually. Okay, and then high-level languages. These are the more abstract and human-readable. The languages we use like C, C++, Java, JavaScript. So these are high-level languages, right? C is a high-level language, but it has features that give the programmer low-level control, such as the use of pointers and direct memory management. Okay, so we will understand about these things later, but for the time being, we just going with the flow, right? What is a compiler? A compiler is a software that translates a high-level programming language like C into machine code. So we need to understand what machine code is. Machine code is something that only machines understand, right? So uh, only two digits, 0 and 1, these are called binary, right? So 0 and 1 is written uh, in uh, in these types of code, and the the duty of the compiler is to transform these 0 and 1s into machine code. Okay, so that we understand, right? The process of writing code in C involves the following steps. Okay, so first of all, we have source code. Whatever the code we write is called source code. Okay, the code you write in C, it's source code. Compilation, the process of converting the source code into an executable file. So our code should be uh, compiled in machine code, right? And then linking combines multiple object files into one executable program if needed. Okay. Okay, then linking. Linking combines multiple object files into one executable program if needed. Okay, in execution, the machine code runs on the computer, right? Common C compilers include GCC, uh, GNU compiler collection, and Clang. So we can use these compilers, GCC and or Clang, so in our machine, but we can use online compiler too, right? Uh, you can take help from Google as well to understand and visualize things, right? So you see, there are three source file, source file, source file, source file, and this is compiler. And then from this compiler makes it object file, object file, object file. So these three source file become object files, right? And then linker. These object files and runtime library go through this linker, and this become executable program, right? And then loader, and then execution. So these types of photos can help you understand what the process is. Okay, so we will sometimes see these types of photos as well for our convenience, right? Okay, now we will learn about history of C. Okay, C was developed in the early 90s by Dennis Ritchie at Bell Labs as a successor to the B language, right? So B was the previous language, then C, and you can say C is the extension of B language, you can say. Okay, so it was designed to help build the Unix operating system and became widely popular due to its efficiency, portability, and flexibility. Okay, so to design Unix operating systems, C was built, right? The simplicity of C, combined with its ability to directly manipulate memory using pointers, made it ideal for system level programming like operating systems and embedded systems, right? Okay, the simplicity of C combined with its ability to directly manipulate memory. Okay, uh, now key milestones in C's history, right? So 1972 C was developed. 1978 the first edition of the book The C Programming Language by Brian Kernighan and Dennis Ritchie. So in 1978 these books was written. 1989 the American National Standard Institute ANSI standardized C, and the version is known as ANSI C or C89. Okay, 1989. 1999 C99, an updated standard introduced new features like inline functions and new data types. Okay, 2011 further modernized the language. Okay, so in 2011 we got the latest update, right? So what's the structure of C program? Uh, the structure of a C program is essential to understand the flow and organization of the code. A typical C program consists of the following parts. Uh, what we get in typical C program is the header part first. Okay, so in the header part we see this line include hashtag include studio.h, right? The header contains standard or user-defined libraries, which include functions and macros that the program needs. Okay, so in this header file, some inbuilt functions are there. You will understand what inbuilt functions are, and these functions help us to print something. Maybe we get input from the user, so we directly write these lines. Okay, printf, then uh, first bracket, and then a semicolon, right? So we don't know why this line prints something, right? This is because in the header file, uh, the the function, something is written in this function, and we directly call that function, and that executes actually. So if it was not there, if this header file was not there, we had to write the function for printing something, and then we could print, right? So it would be a tedious work, right? Okay. uh, and then main function. Every C program must have a main function, which is the entry point for execution. Okay, when the C program runs, the controls start from the main function. Okay, so it starts from the main function. It is the function that gets called automatically by the operating system. Okay, uh, okay, so this function gets automatically called. Okay, and then return type. So what is return type actually? Return type is, you see this int. So uh, in the starting of every function we have to define what types of data it will return. Okay, so in this case we are returning an integer uh, data into I know I hope you know what is integer. Integer is like, right? a concrete number like 1, 2, 3, 4, and these types of numbers, right? So these will return an integer. And then body. The body of the main function contains the statements that define what the program does. So we will write many lines here in the main function, and these lines will be executed. Okay, and then return statement. Return statement in our case return 0. Okay, so in this return 0, this line indicates the program executed successfully. If all the lines, whatever we write here in the body, if these lines executes successfully, then return 0 comes into action. Okay, so these indicates the program was executed successfully, right? So these braces, like curly braces, okay, so we see this in program, right? This one, you see these curly braces, right? So are used to define the scope of functions, loops, and other blocks of code. Okay, so these curly braces, scope of function, I mean where the function starts and where it ends. So these types of things, in case of loops as well, and other blocks of code, right? So these actually define where the function start, or program starts, and where it ends, right? Okay, so we see an example of C program. Okay, so if we take this and we run this in any compiler, if we run this, you see the hello world. So here is our header file, including the standard input output header. Okay, and then the main function is returning integer types of data. So first of all, we are printing hello world. Okay, so printf function is used here. So this printf function is actually written in the header file. So this is why when you call this printf, so header file helps to print it, right? Otherwise uh, it was not possible, right? And then returning 0, indicating the program ran successfully, right? Okay, then so we saw everything about this. So in our next video, we will start our actual programming, right? We will practice from the next video. Thank you for watching, guys.